How do you register to vote? Can anyone vote absentee in Michigan? And what deadlines do you need to be aware of? Voting can be confusing, but this video will walk you through everything you need to know about voting in Michigan. To be eligible to vote in Michigan, you must meet the following requirements. You must be a United States citizen. You must be at least 18 years old at the time you vote. However, you should know that you can register to vote when you are 17 and a half years old. You just can't vote until you're 18 years old. You must be a Michigan resident at the time you register, and a resident of your city or township for at least 30 days at the time you vote. And lastly, you must not currently be serving a sentence in jail or prison. If you meet all those requirements, congratulations! You can register to vote and cast your ballot during any election. Registering to vote in Michigan is easy, and there are several ways to do it. Whichever way you choose to register, you need to fill out an application and provide proof of eligibility and residency. For proof of residency, you can provide a Michigan driver's license or state ID, a current utility bill, a bank statement, a paycheck or government check, or any other government document that has your name and current address. You can provide a digital copy of any of these documents. If you are registering to vote in person, you have the right to do so up to 8 p.m. on Election Day. To register to vote in person, you must locate your local clerk's office. You can find your city or township's clerk's office on michigan.gov/vote. Remember, if you are registering to vote within 14 days of an election with the intent of voting in that election, your only option is to do so in person. To register to vote online, you must have a valid Michigan driver's license or state ID. If you do, visit michigan.gov/voter registration. The deadline to register to vote online is 2 weeks before Election Day. To register to vote by mail, your application and supporting documents must be postmarked at least 15 days before Election Day. Whichever way you register, your city or township clerk will process your application and then send you your voter registration card. If you move to a new city or township, you must re-register. If you move within a city or township and you're already registered to vote, you only need to update your address, which you can do either in person at your local clerk's office or online. On Election Day, registered voters must vote at their local polling place. Unregistered voters must go to their local clerk's office to register and can then vote there or at their polling place. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. local time. You have the right to vote if you are in line by 8 p.m. When you check in, you will be asked to show ID. For ID, you can provide a Michigan driver's license or state ID, a driver's license or personal ID card issued by another state, federal or state government-issued ID, a U.S. passport, a military ID with photo, a student ID with photo from a high school or college, or a tribal ID card with photo. However, you should know that if you don't have ID, you can still vote. You will just be asked to sign a form before you vote that explains that you didn't have an ID. Your ballot will still be included and counted like all other ballots on Election Day. If an emergency, like a sudden illness, prevents you from voting in person on Election Day, you can request an emergency absent voter ballot. Emergency ballots must be requested after the deadline for regular absentee voter ballots, but before 4 p.m. on Election Day. However, you should know that the emergency must have happened at a time that made it impossible for you to apply for a regular absentee voter ballot. All registered voters in Michigan can vote using an absentee ballot without an excuse or a reason. That means anyone can cast their ballot from the comfort of their own home. Applications for an absentee ballot can be submitted up to 75 days before Election Day. To request an absentee ballot, you have the following options. You can apply for an absentee ballot online, as long as you do so before 5 p.m. the Friday before Election Day. You can call your local clerk's office and ask them to mail you an application, as long as your request is received before 5 p.m. the Friday before Election Day. You can download and print an application. You can apply for an absentee ballot in person at your local clerk's office, as long as you do so before 4 p.m. the day before Election Day. You can choose to return your ballot either in person at your local clerk's office or drop box, or by mail. Either way, your completed absentee ballot must be received by your local clerk's office by 8 p.m. on Election Day. Still have some questions about voting? Don't worry. Visit michigan.gov/vote for all the information you'll need about voter registration, voting in person, absentee voting, and more. Thanks for watching.